This is the golden piece on how you take price out of the equation. This is the golden piece. If you get nothing else, if you're listening, if you get nothing else, this is the process. So, I'll tell a story. When I really got this, I was going to an event and I robbed up. And you know, before you go to an event, you meet someone and you go, oh, g'day, I'm Sam, what do you do? Oh, yeah, Roger, you're a vet. And so I'm talking to this guy. It was a vet about webinars, how to run webinars. That's the event. And this guy said, oh, I'm a financial planner. And I said, oh, great, fantastic. I'm Sam, I'm a vet. And he goes, sorry, you vets make a mozza. My mum took her dog down to get desexed the other day, $250 just to get desexed. And this was, 5 years ago or 7 years ago or something. And I went, oh yeah, and I went, do you know what's involved with getting a desex? He goes, no, I don't. And I said, right, well what happens, they come in, they have a full clinical exam, heart and lungs and everything, to make sure they can handle anaesthetic. Often we'll take a blood test and actually run it through and check about 15 different variations of, a blood analysis to make sure they can actually handle anaesthetic. Then what we do, they're given a sedative and just relaxes them. We put a little catheter in their arm and they're hooked up to an infusion pump which pumps fluid through them at a certain rate. It actually makes the anaesthetic a lot safer and the animals wake up a lot brighter, a lot quicker with less side effects. Once they've done that, then they're actually pumped, they're given anaesthetic, they're put to sleep, and then a tube's put down so we can change them from chemical anaesthetic to inhalation or air anaesthetic so that they can be maintained, it's a lot safer anaesthetic. And then you get the point. So I just explained this whole thing to me and he's sitting there going, really? And then he goes, so why is it only $250? So all I'd done is what? I had educated him to value. Here's the challenge. All day, every day, we're being vets and we're just trundling along and we think a desex is nothing. And this is Trent who goes, oh, this is hard. It was hard, I know. And they're even harder. But this is the challenge. You go, oh, it's just a spay because you're so used to doing it. But when you stop and explain the process that's involved, what happens? Two things happen. The client is educated to value. They go, sounds like that's pretty complicated. Yep. So their perception of value has increased. So now we have, what are they expecting? Price is probably going to be this. I'll tell you another story to demonstrate it. Diamond rings. So we got engaged. Trent, you have recently had this horrific experience. And so I'm thinking diamond ring and wife's thinking diamond ring. And so I go along and we're talking to the guy and she says, you've got to go and see this guy. Apparently he's really good. My friends recommended him, which is ladies' code for you're screwed. And so off we go, and so the guy sits down, he goes, so what are you looking for? He didn't ask me what's my budget and stuff. He said, what sort of thing are you looking for? You did have an idea of size and things like that. I went, nah. He goes, righto. So he took me through this whole process. He pulled out this and go, right, now see this diamond. This is a 1 carat diamond. And see, I want you to take a look at the colour. Now see here, here's a colour chart. Can you see all the different colours? He took me, so all of a sudden I could now look at a ring and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's a grade 1 colour, that's pretty good. Oh, that's a grubby little yellow thing, you tight ass. So we could go through the process. Then he goes, now I want you to take a look at when you see the flaws. So you look through this little thing and he took me through this whole process of educating me to value. So what happens? Sam ends up buying, like I'm thinking, oh my God. And I ended up buying something that's way above what I thought I was going to spend. But I looked at it and I went, I think I got a good deal. I think it was actually good value. All he did was educated me to value.
They're really good at that, actually.
Third story. This is process. It is a sales process, trust me, but it's just educating someone to value. Like, I don't get it. You can get a cubic zirconia which looks exactly the same, and they are nice. They're much better, much more appropriately priced. But the problem is they've got these things. What's the difference between two? It is just the education to value. They've created a story that makes you go, I think it's worth more.
I'm pretty sure they've got engraved on the diamonds, and the zirconia they don't engrave them.
Oh, I'm sure they've got a process there.
And don't call me by name whenever I go in there.
The guy's not dumb.
Free ring cleaning, you know how you take your rings in to get clean for free? Scam.
Doesn't exist. So, third story. Mechanic rings up, took my car down, not running, he goes, Sam, can you come down? And it's like, oh God. And he goes, mate, this thing needs changing. I need to pull this water pump out. Let me just show you what's involved. So what's he do? He actually lifts up the bonnet and shows me where it is. And you have to take this out and move that. And what that does, it does this. And if we don't do that, actually your engine's going to cook itself within a X period of time. I'm looking going, that looks pretty complicated. And then he goes, it's going to be $800 or $900. And what do I go?
be a lot more.
Seems like pretty good value. So 3 examples of education of value. I'm telling you 3 so that you can go, am I educating my client to value? This is the goal.